it's hard because there are so many more times down the road that you need support, even more so than in the beginning. And like, people just disappear because that's what we do. Our culture is so cuckoo nuts over like this is uncomfortable, your grief is uncomfortable, why are you still sad, I don't want to deal with you right now, so I don't know, you're not the same person, so I think I'm just gonna like not call you or send you a Christmas card because I'm uncomfortable. And yeah, that'll work, you know. Like, what the freak. Hi, good afternoon. So I'm settling in to do some work at my desk today. I'm having extreme pain, but I'm doing the best that I can. Yeah, I went and did this thing yesterday that I had never done before, and that is I went and had a eyebrow lamination. It's basically, I guess they perm your eyebrows, and yeah, I had never actually been to a professional eyebrow person before, so spontaneously I decided to treat myself because I was feeling really depressed from being in so much pain. So I was like, well, what can I do that doesn't require moving? And it was on my list of things I wanted for Christmas, and then never really got to it. So I made an appointment and headed over there. And yeah, the lady was amazing, and she didn't have anybody else booked for like 2-3 hours, so she was able to really sit and chat with me for a while, and it turned out to be such a good experience. Her name is Kat, Pure Skin by Kat. She's in Newtown, Connecticut, and she was just lovely. I mean, I was paying her to do my eyebrows, but it was more than that. So I have so much grief and so much pain, so I appreciate anyone who I can connect with energetically like that and feel comfortable with. So yeah, she like bleached them and waxed them, not bleached, I'm sorry, laminated them. It smells like 1980s perm when they're doing it. If anybody does their eyebrows, like I don't know, I'm new to the whole fancy eyebrow thing. So anyway, my eyebrows were like 3 different colors. They were blonde, they were gray, they were brown. My natural color is like, hair color is like strawberry blonde, kind of brown and mixed, and then yeah, I've got gray now because, you know, age. So she was like, and part of them was too thin, and so it basically, you perm them and it makes them fluffy, so you have to brush them up and make them fluffy. And then she shaped them and did the waxing and tinted them the darkest color of my roots when they grow out. So yeah, so some of the roots are gray and some of the roots in the back are still my natural color. So anyway, that is why my eyebrows are so dark. I don't know, they don't look too bad, do they? I mean, I don't know. She said they'll fade, but it just felt really good to have somebody actually, I don't know, make me feel like feminine and pretty and seen? Is that a good word? So yeah, so I did that yesterday, and that was really nice. Today it's almost 90 here. My fibromyalgia kicked in, and I'm really inflamed and swollen like everywhere, which is making the sciatic pain even worse, even though I've been trying to really watch everything that I'm eating and drink a lot of water and take all this medicine that I'm supposed to take. I did hear from my doctor, and they said the pain doctor who does the injections into my spine, and they said there's a possibility they might be able to get me one more injection before I go to California for Sarah's bridal shower weekend. And honestly, I need to get through that, and then I have surgery scheduled on July 8th-ish. If they do the injection, if it's within 3 weeks of the surgery, they might have to push the surgery a week or two. But yeah, I can't do it under sedation like in the past, so I'd have to, I don't know, take drugs and get sleepy like Valium or something like that. I don't know. I don't usually take any of that stuff for But yeah, it's really frustrating when you're just like, I just need relief so I can function, and I'm trying really hard, and I had to put all my exercise on hold, and it's just like, but I'll get there. I'll get to the other side of this, and I'll rehab it, and I won't hopefully have to deal with this stupid sciatic pain that has been in my life since 2018. One good fall, and then it just kept inflaming, and then I've had one surgery already, lasted a couple years, then the disc popped back out again, and now it's even worse, and they can't really do much about it other than surgery. So yeah, that's my life. You know, when you're trying to do all the right things, like, it's just, I feel like everything is in upheaval, swirling around me like crazy, and I'm trying to also figure out what I'm going to do with my life next. And yeah, so it's a lot. Anyways, that's sort of an update for today. So one of my favorite books during my whole grieving time is this. It's called It's Okay That You're Not Okay. I know I've talked about it before, but this book by Devine is really, really good. It just helps you understand your grief and loss in a culture that doesn't understand grief and loss. Like, you're not going crazy. It just, the rest of the world doesn't really know what to do. So some of the things in here that I really liked is, I'm reading this chapter here, you know, just settling in. I picked up the book and I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect to talk about, because a lot of people are like, well, what do you mean people don't do the right thing? What is the right thing? What is the wrong thing, right? So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of that, because I think it's really helpful when people are on the caring side and have somebody who's grieving, just to kind of understand, you know, what helps and what doesn't help. Most people just do what doesn't help and then they disappear. But anyway, so this is the larger, bigger issue. I'll read what she wrote. It's important to talk about the deeper, larger sweep of what it means to companion somebody in their grief. At the same time, we do need tangible, concrete things to do in the face of someone else's pain. You're not meant to just, I don't know, hang out and beam love. I mean, do that, but there are other things too. Show up, say something. There's a complicated dance that happens between grieving people and their support teams. Most people want to be supportive, but they don't want to intrude. Or they're terrified of making things worse, or they say nothing. They pull away rather than risk an imperfect connection. So in an article for The Guardian, writer Giles Fraser calls this a double loneliness. On top of loss of someone they love, the griever loses the connection and the alliance of the people around them. For fear of making things worse, people disappear and go silent just when we need them most, which is what happened to me. I mean, my world is basically just me again. Just me without Daniel, and just me and John. Like, everybody disappeared. Like, why? I used to tell my friends that there was no way they could win. If they called me to check in too often, they were crowding me. If they didn't call enough, they were dropping the ball and ignoring me. If I ran into somebody at the grocery store and they said nothing, I felt invisible. If they wanted to talk about how I was feeling, right there in the produce section, I felt invaded. Caring for each other is hard. It's such a mess. It's all such a mess at times. The important thing to remember is we don't need you to be perfect. It's okay, more than okay, to lead a conversation with, I have no idea what to say, and I know I can't make this right, or I want to give you space and privacy, but I'm also worried about you, and I want to check in. Claiming your discomfort allows you to show up and be present. Trying to hide your discomfort just makes things worse. From the griever's perspective, it's a huge relief to be around those who are willing to be uncomfortable and show up anyway. If you aren't sure you should say something, just ask. Err on the side of being present. Your effort is really noticed and appreciated. Do this, not that. Here's a handy checklist, okay? Often when I talk about bearing witness to and being with what is, people respond with, yeah, I can do that. But what are the things that I should absolutely avoid doing? I understand that you want a roadmap. We all like concrete action steps, especially when faced with the amorphous, daunting task of supporting somebody in their grief. Right? Sweaty today. The air conditioner's on. I hope it's okay. I'm just so hot. The fibro's cooking me. There's an essay. Okay, so she talks about, there's an essay in the book that gives you a little bit more information on what to do and say. So you can buy the book and read that part. But I'm going to just give you some basic do's and don'ts. Don't compare grief. Every person has experienced loss in their life, but no one else has experienced this grief. It's tempting to offer your own experience of grief to let the grieving person know you understand. But you don't understand. You can't. Even if your loss is empirically very similar, resist the urge to use your own experience as a point of connection. Do ask questions about their experience. You can connect with someone by showing curiosity about what this is like for them. And if you have had a similar experience, it's okay to let them know you're familiar with how bizarre and overwhelming grief can be. Just stick to indications that you know the general territory, not that you know their specific road. And boy, I had so many people, oh, when I lost my son, oh, my mother just died, oh, my father just died, and this happened, and oh, I know how you're feeling, and all this, and it just makes it worse, because it's not really empathy. It's like it's more for them than for me kind of thing, and it feels weird and uncomfortable. Don't fact check and don't correct. Especially in the early grief, a person's timeline and internal data sources are really confused and wonky. They might get dates wrong or remember things differently, and differently than they actually happened. You may have a different opinion about their relationships or what and when and with whom. Resist the urge to challenge or correct somebody who's grieving. Do let them own their own experience. It's not important who's more correct. Don't minimize. You might think your friend's grief is out of proportion to the situation. It's tempting to correct their point of view to something you feel is more realistic. But do remember that grief belongs to the griever. Your opinions about their grief are irrelevant. They get to decide how bad things feel, just as you get to make such decisions in your own life when it happens to you. Don't give compliments. Oh God, so many compliments. When someone you love is in pain, they don't need to be reminded that they are smart, beautiful, resourceful, or fantastically a good person. Don't tell them they're strong or brave. Grief isn't typically a failure of confidence. People walked around at Daniel's funeral telling me, oh, you were such a good mother. You gave him the best life. You're amazing. You're so strong. Look at all. And it was really infuriating after a while, because I was like, yeah, I know that. And stop it. It's not helping me by you telling me that I was a great mother to him because he's dead. And it's not helping me. It's just like, and it happened like all day, especially like during the wake, when people were looking at all the photos we had, like that hadn't really been in our life that often, and they saw the things we did. And yeah, don't do that to people. Don't tell them they're wonderful and a hero. It doesn't help them. Do remember that all those things you love about the person, all those things that you admire, will help them as they move through this experience. Remind them that you're there, that they can always lean on you when the road gets too heavy to carry alone. Let them be a right awful mess without feeling they need to show you any kind of a brave, courageous face. Don't be a cheerleader. When things are dark, it's okay to feel dark. Not every corner needs the bright light of encouragement. In a similar vein, don't encourage somebody to have gratitude for the good things that they still have. For the good things that still exist. Good things and horrible things occupy the same space, and they don't cancel each other out. Do mirror their reality back to them. When they say, this entirely sucks, just say, yeah, it does. And it's amazing how much that helps. Yeah, I like that. So don't talk about, quote, later. When someone you love is in pain, it's tempting to talk about how great things are going to get in the future. Right now, in this present moment, the future is irrelevant. Do say in the present moment, do stay in the present moment where you are right there, right now, right? Or if the person is talking about the past, just join them there in the past, but allow the person to choose. Don't evangelize. Part 1. You should go out dancing. That's what helped me. Have you tried essential oils to cheer you up? These are examples. Whoops. Oh, sorry. I can't find my desktop tripod. I just love this so much. I had to like record this so I can put it on my channel for grief stuff. So yeah, don't evangelize. Part 1. You should go out dancing. That's what helped me. Have you tried essential oils to cheer you up? Melatonin always helps me sleep. You should try that. When you found something that works for you, it's tempting to globalize that experience for everybody else. Unfortunately, unless the person specifically asked for a suggestion or information, your enthusiastic plugs are going to feel offensive and honestly patronizing. Yeah, don't say, oh, we're going to take you out. I had people coming up to me that were friends in town that I didn't really know that well, and they're like, oh, we're going to take you out. We're going to do this, and I'm like, okay, they never called after the funeral. That never happened. People say things, and it's like, why did you even say that? Like, what's the point? Anyway, do trust that the person has intelligence and experience in their own self-care. If they aren't sleeping well, they've probably talked to a trusted provider or done simple Google searches themselves. If you see them struggling, it's okay to ask if they'd like to hear what's helped you in the past, but just don't over enthusiastically like bleh, all of that information. Don't charge ahead with solutions. Evangelizing part 2. In all things, not just in grief, it is important to get consent before giving advice or offering strategies. In most cases, the person simply needs to be heard and validated. In most cases, yeah, they just want to be heard and validated inside their pain or inside their challenges, and they don't need your solutions. They're not going to be able to listen to you. Do get consent before you offer solutions or strategies. You might borrow my friend and colleague Kate McComb's question, in quotes, are you wanting empathy or a strategy right now? And then respect their answer. I like that. Remember that. Ask for consent before you start, flooding your mouth with all kinds of things that you think will be helpful to that person who's standing there crying. Like, yeah, that would be good. If somebody has said to me, can I offer you some help or suggestions? I might have said yes and not wanted to hear it, but at least they asked. There are probably a million more points to make about what to do and not to do, but this is a good starting place. Okay? So it's one more thing. It's not that all of these don't approaches are bad. It's just that they aren't effective. When your goal is to support your friend, choose things that are more likely to help you achieve that goal of being supportive. And if you know anybody who's grieving, Devine, my niece sent me this book. My niece, who is a therapist, in the very, very beginning of grief. And I don't think she knows how much I appreciate that she sent me tools that really helped me like get a handle on why is everybody making me insane. So that's that. And yep, grief doesn't have a timeline, and nope, it doesn't stop, it keeps going. And when you realize that you're going to be in pain forever, after a while you're like, wait. But the thing is, it is nothing like I thought it was going to be, and it's still every day slap in the face of this huge reality shift that I've had to go through. And now that we're, I think it's like 508 days without Daniel, a lot of the things that they write about are exactly what happens. People show up and people give you support and they give you gifts and food and they send you cards, and you know, for a little while they stop in, they check in, and then they drift, and then they drift some more, and then it gets quiet and they disappear. But you're still waking up and you don't know if today's the day you're going to be stuck in the chair bawling your eyes out and not feeling like even showering because you're just so sad, or today's the day that maybe you'll get up and, you know, move yourself a little bit, or try to find something productive to do. It's hard because there are so many more times down the road that you need support, even more so than in the beginning. And like, people just disappear because that's what we do. Our culture is so cuckoo nuts over like this is uncomfortable, your grief is uncomfortable, why are you still sad, I don't want to deal with you right now, so I don't know, you're not the same person, so I think I'm just gonna like not call you or send you a Christmas card because I'm uncomfortable. And yeah, that'll work, you know. Like, what the freak. Anyway, that's my bit. So a little bit on do's and don'ts when you are trying to support someone who's grieving. And I'll be back later. I'm just gonna keep working on the channel, keep working on the things that are inspiring me. I'm thinking about taking some like extended courses in how to teach meditation. So it's either meditation or like working with helping people to heal energetically, which I think is something I have a bit of a calling to do. But I just kind of had a I don't know what you call it. The other day I was just like sitting in my chair and I'm like, I just don't know what I want to do. I don't go back to school, I don't want to do this or do this. I want to do something, obviously, that's it can be a vocation, in addition to already making my channel and using my platform. I want to be of service, and I don't know if it's of service to people in grief or people who are caregivers, or both, or women who are you know, healing from like immense trauma or betrayal trauma, or something along that lines. But it's definitely an area where I really want to lean into, because I've had some pretty good experiences with seeing where there's a need, you know, where there's definitely a need, and one of them is you know, just helping people who have been carrying so much more than they were ever meant to carry in life. And I know that for a long time I was not able to deal with a lot of the trauma in my own life, and a lot of that had to do with dissociating and just being completely absorbed in the world of being a caregiver. Like, you just don't have time because this person needs you 24 hours a day. It's like you have to separate yourself so you can focus on them, because you love them and you want them to have the best life possible. But there's a sacrifice, and the sacrifice is you. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. And in the meantime, I just ran out of memory on my SD card. So in the meantime, I'm sharing some of my thoughts and insights as to my own grief journey after losing my son. And I am so anxious to always connect with other people, and you know, I hope I can, you know, continue to find my enthusiasm and keep doing things. purposeful, meaningful, and bring connection. Especially, you know, the world is such a stressful, polarized, difficult place right now. I don't watch the news anymore because it just kind of triggers a lot of stress and anxiety in me, and I'm trying to focus on that which serves the greater purpose. And you know, I spoon feed myself things when necessary, but I don't try not to get caught up in things that just don't serve me and make me, and that give me nightmares and make me anxious. So yeah, that's me, because I can't handle too much. It's very easy when somebody has extreme PTSD and trauma and stress and grief to, you know, sort of offset everything and throw them out of balance. Even, well, I'm not really balanced, but I think you know what I'm saying. I just have to keep concentrating on my highest self and connecting with my inner light and praying and believing that somehow in the big picture there's purpose and meaning in everything, in Daniel's life, in my life, and what comes next. And that's all for today. So let me know how you guys are doing. Drop a note, keep in touch. If you know anyone who's, you know, grieving and really sad, you know, remember those do's and don'ts, and just, you know, be a good friend and offer support, you know, and that's all. But I'm here too, so we'll talk later. La la la.